I have been getting comments after comments after comments, literally on almost every video of mine. Please do a Fitbit review. Can you compare Whoop and Fitbit? Which is better, Whoop or Fitbit Air? Please test the new Google Fitbit Air. You asked and I listened. This is the Google Fitbit Air. It hasn't even officially launched in India yet. It launched worldwide on 26th May 2026. And in October 2026, it is going to get launched in India. But for all of you guys, and also for my curiosity, it's sitting right here on my wrist. Because when this many people ask for something, you deliver. I have worn Whoop every single day for 370 plus days. I've already put the Pebble Qore through 30 days of testing against it. And now, the one you've actually been waiting for. Screenless, Google's AI health coach built in, powered by Gemini, positioning itself directly Whoop. I received it yesterday and today we opened it and I'm going to tell you exactly what I will be testing over the next 30 days. Including wearing both on my wrist through my Hyrox prep and race day in Mumbai. So let's go. Hi everyone, my name is Shreyashi and I'm a software engineer by profession and I like to make videos on lifestyle, health, fitness, travel, skincare and a lot of more other things. And today I am going to be showing you the unboxing and the first impressions of the Google Fitbit Air which got recently launched. Quick context. I have been making Whoop content for over a year now, and the single most asked question in my comments across every single video is whether there's a good alternative to Whoop that doesn't require an expensive ongoing subscription. I tested the Pebble Qore at Rs 2900. Honest verdict, good for basic awareness, not accurate enough for data-driven decisions. That video is linked on screen. Now, the Fitbit Air comes with 3 months of Google Health Premium free, which is their AI health coach free subscription. Post that, every year you have to pay Rs 4,999. This includes an AI health coach powered by Gemini. After that, you can choose whether to subscribe or use it without the premium features. It sits between the Core and Whoop on the price. And contrary to Whoop, which doesn't work at all without subscription model, this Fitbit will work without a subscription. It will give you the basic features, but the AI health coach will give you far more important details about your data. So if you want, you can get it. If you don't want, you don't have to get it. But yes, we will be testing that out if it's even worth getting it. Now in this scenario, the subscription model, the Fitbit Air sits right between Pebble Qore and Whoop. But the question is, does it sit between them on performance too? Or does it punch above its price? Let's find out. The first impressions of the box or the unpacking or the unboxing that I did, kind of similar to Pebble Qore. Whoop takes it a notch higher though. But yes, it does feel premium for sure from the outside. The device itself, if you notice, it's very thin as compared to Whoop. This is again a screenless device and it has a sensor. The sensor also is very thin, very tiny on the front, and it comes with this Velcro strap. Different colors. I opted for the lavender one, but it doesn't really look lavenderish to me. It more of gives the sky blue color, but yes, this is what I opted for, and it has Velcro. It's unlike Whoop, which has like a clap-on strap. This is a Velcro strap, so you strap it on like a Velcro depending on your adjustment. You can, and they also mentioned that it shouldn't be really tight on your wrist. It should sit right like few centimeters above your wrist bone. So it shouldn't be too tight so that it just kind of reduces the blood supply on that area. It is again no screen device. No screen means no distractions, longer battery life, and the focus is entirely on data collection rather than notification management. It weighs around 10 to 12 grams. So this is a performance band. Again, as I said, Velcro band, feels comfortable. I've been wearing Whoop for a year, so for me, it's completely comfortable. And I don't think it would even affect you if you're wearing for the first time. Now coming to the charging, compared to Whoop, you will have to take the band off your wrist to be able to charge it. With Whoop, you can just clasp on the charger and it starts charging. You don't even have to take that off. But for Fitbit Air, you will have to take it off. Now, next comes is the app setup and the UI. So you need to download the app from your Play Store. This is a Google Health app. Of course, Google Health app is also compatible with other Google devices, all other Fitbits, other Google smartwatches, and also Google Fitbit Air. So you download the app, you sign in with your Google account or your Fitbit account, whatever you have, and then it takes you through the setup experience. Now, the setup actually took me around 5 to 6 minutes. It was updating the device was not updated, so while doing the setup it took more time in updating the device. It asks for your height, your weight, and also your gender. These are the three things it asks for, and then it just keeps on continuing. Unlike Whoop, where it also asks which wrist will you wear it in and other things like that, like more detail it asks for, but this asks for 3 details, and then it just keeps on setting up. And of course, it also asks if you want the Google AI Health Coach. This is free for the first 3 months, so you don't have to pay anything, but you will have to do the subscription, so you can do it via Apple Pay or GPay or whatever helps you buy subscriptions on your Play Store or your Apple Play Store or your Google Play Store. The subscription yearly is 4,999, way cheaper than Whoop, of course. Once the setup, the update, everything is done, once you've got the subscription, you will see this UI. The UI looks pretty clean, nothing much, although since it's just the start, for me the UI is like a clean slate. It has things like, your calories, your steps, your activity, your sleep, everything is there. And what all does the device track? Because this is the comparison baseline for the next 30 days. It tracks your heart rate, it does your sleep tracking, SpO2, your HRV, heart rate variability, your skin temperature. It also does workout tracking, everything. I think a lot of things it tracks. There could be a few features which it doesn't track, which Whoop tracks, and there could be few features which Whoop doesn't track and Google Fitbit Air tracks. Now, the AI health coach is something that I'm really excited and very curious to dabble with, because Google Health Coach is powered by Gemini, which is Google's own AI. It's supposed to give you personalized health insights and recommendations based on your data. I have been using Whoop Coach extensively for months now, and it's genuinely useful. Can Google's version compete? I don't know yet, but I'll find it out over the next 30 days. So I have unboxed it, I have put it on my wrist, the app is set up. I'm also going to be wearing Whoop on my wrist. And before any sleep data, before any workout data, just from the first hour, I have told you that I'm going to be tracking every single thing with you guys there. 3 months free Google Health Premium and then 4,999 annually. And after that, you can choose to subscribe for more features or use the basic version without, compared to 23,999 with Whoop, ongoing subscription required for any data access. If the Fitbit Air delivers even 70 to 80% of what Whoop delivers at less than half the price and without a mandatory subscription, that's a genuinely compelling value proposition. But that's the test. I really need to understand how Fitbit Air is calculating the HRV, how is it calculating your heart rate, how good the scores are, how closer to Whoop the scores are, because we know Whoop is one device which is a top tier device when it comes to tracking your parameters. It gives you the most accuracy possible. But can Fitbit Air also kind of give you around 70 to 80% accuracy with the price point it has come up with? We'll see. 30 days is a long journey, but exactly what I'm going to test over the next 30 days and why each metric matters. I will be doing the sleep tracking. Does it show same sleep duration? Does Fitbit Air with Google's more sophisticated software get closer to Whoop's readings? Heart rate accuracy, this is where Pebble Qore failed significantly during high intensity training. So I'm going to be sharing and seeing that as well. Basic comparison between Google's health coach and Whoop's AI coach. All of these things. And the biggest test of all would be my variables and parameters during the Hyrox race day. I'm going to wear both devices the entire race, and I will compare data from both the next morning. I'm going to be coming up in 2 weeks to you with one more video of 15 days of data and 15 days of wearing Fitbit Air, and the next would be our 30 days. So if you've been asking me about Fitbit in the comments, this series is for you. 15 days, 30 days, maybe more days of honest testing and every metric compared. And I genuinely cannot wait to see myself how this device is going to help me understand my body better. Subscribe so you don't miss any of it, and drop a comment right now. What are you most curious about with the Fitbit Air versus Whoop comparison? What do you want me to specifically test? Your questions will shape the next video. Like this video if you're excited for the series, and I'll see you in the 15-day review. Until then, bye-bye.